I am at the airport bright and early. I am headed out on a work trip, so it's like nice and early Monday morning. And normally when I travel, especially for work, I am very prepared when it comes to food. This trip, not so much. We were traveling together as a family. I got home last night, and so all of my normal jerky preparations or stocking up that I do just didn't happen this trip. And I also am in like what I call beast mode, where I'm just being extra strict and extra careful about what I'm eating, and I'm eliminating dairy and stuff like that. So it is a little trickier to find things that I can eat that are easy on the go. Also, to make things more complicated, I'm not flying my usual airline today, just this morning. So I don't have lounge access, which usually is a place where I know I can get like a decent breakfast at least. The other thing that is making it more chaotic is that it's a 4-night trip and I'm staying in a different hotel every night for 4 nights. I'm going to Austin, Houston, and Dallas all in the same week, not in that order actually, but I was supposed to fly to each of those cities midweek, and last night I honestly was just stressing so much about not having a car, relying on Ubers, not being able to like find food. I had no food that I brought to prepare, so I canceled all my midweek flights and I just booked a rental car. And I decided, you know what, it's like a 3 or 4 hour drive between cities. I would rather take that drive, manage my own schedule, have a car to go find decent food and not rely on Uber Eats and stuff. So I think that's making me feel more confident. I probably will do a little fasting as well, but because it is such a long week, I want to make sure that I'm not under eating. And so I've been working really hard to have 2 meals a day. So we're gonna look around the airport. Let's see if we can find breakfast, a decent option that's really clean, that is not from the lounge. But first I have to walk all the way to my gate just to make sure it exists. Okay, this is highway robbery, but I was able to get some eggs and bacon. I'm not gonna talk about the price of it. And I will say across the street, or across the aisle at the newsstand, they had some like deli and cheese roll-ups and string cheese. I'm trying to avoid having a lot of cheese right now, so I didn't do that. They did have some hard-boiled eggs. I don't love hard-boiled eggs, but if this was my money budget and I was desperate for food, I probably would have went with hard-boiled eggs, which I could have got for free in the lounge if I was on my normal airline. But since my job does pay for my food within reason when I travel, and I know already like I never spend what I'm allowed to spend just because I usually am not eating 3 meals a day and coffees and stuff. So anyway, I let them buy me bacon and eggs from the expensive airport restaurant that was supposed to come with like all the sides, but she just went without it. So here we go. I am off on this trip and I'll take you guys along with me. Okay, these eggs definitely need salt. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy mini salt shaker that I keep attached to my bag for the eggs. And this is my reminder that you can take ice through security. So I have my hydro jug. I put ice in it at home, and it's as long as it's still frozen, you're good. And then I have my own electrolytes that I can pour in here and go find the water machine, and I don't have to buy an expensive anything. And I just love cold water, so I really am pumped for that. So let's salt these eggs. Okay, I worked at the office all day and I haven't eaten anything since this morning, but I'm hanging out with my friend Ashley. We filmed a YouTube video actually, so I don't know when you're watching this, but go check that one out. And we just ate with her husband.
So good.
Yeah, we had some good Colombian food and some chicharrones, carne asada. It was amazing.
So good.
This video is sponsored by Element. I never go anywhere, much less travel, without these convenient little electrolyte packets. It's just the perfect ratio of sodium, magnesium, and potassium, and it couldn't be any more convenient than just being able to throw a bunch of these in my bag and have them with me no matter where I go. I start every day with one of these unflavored packets, and they also have a wide variety of flavored versions depending on how well you tolerate things like stevia. I feel best when I'm having at least one every day, and then whenever I'm doing any type of longer fast, I always add an extra one, and that just makes sure that I'm preventing any type of muscle cramps or headaches, and just have no problems when I'm doing a longer fast. If you want to get a free sample pack, you can go to drinkelement.com/LauraSpath. They have a deal for all my subscribers where you can get a free sample pack with any purchase. Thanks to Element for sponsoring this video.
Before heading to the office, I just came to the hotel breakfast area and got some bacon and scrambled eggs. And the bacon was really good today. I finished up my work in Houston and I'm headed to Dallas. I have to be there for some meetings tomorrow. So it's like 5 o'clock right now in Houston and I'm going to drive to Dallas tonight. I have not eaten since those eggs and bacon this morning and I am starving. I rarely get like hungry on a carnivore diet, but 2 days in a row of doing breakfast and then not eating till dinner has me ramped up and very hungry. So I know I said no cheese, but I stopped at In-N-Out and I got 2 Flying Dutchmen, which is 2 patties and 2 pieces of cheese. And then because that is a lot of cheese, I got 4 more plain patties. And these are 2-ounce patties, which means that this is 8 patties is 1 pound of beef. So it's 1 pound of beef. And I wanted a little bit more fat since I have a long drive ahead of me. So I got cheese. Not that cheese should be how we ramp up our fat, but in this case, we're going to do the best we can. And it's really delicious. And I'll stack these extra patties on top. So I'll have like 4 stacks. So here we go. This is hitting the spot. I'm going to eat this and then head to Dallas for the night.
I made it to Dallas late last night, which is good because it's like rainy and a little foggy out. So I'm glad I'm not driving this morning. I have some meetings today and then I'm back on the road and I'm headed to Austin this afternoon. There's a breakfast downstairs in the hotel. They have a breakfast buffet that I peeked at and I'm really sick of hotel eggs and bacon, I'm not gonna lie. But they also had a menu option where you could order an omelet. So that's what I went with today just because I figured it was gonna taste a little more fresh to me and probably be a little cleaner. They did have like potatoes. It just said omelet on the menu. And it came with like potatoes and toast, which I wasn't expecting, which was fine. I just like pushed those off. I hate to waste that food. So I wish I wouldn't have I would have told them not to send it in the first place, but no big deal. Thankfully I had like a bacon sausage omelet this morning and I did have them put a little bit of cheese in it. So now I'm going to go ahead and prep for my meetings. And I'll tell you what though, later today, I'm like really dying for a steak or something substantial. So hopefully in my drive between Dallas and Austin, I can find something that's not a burger patty. That's my goal.
So unfortunately, steak is not on the agenda for today. It's just not going to happen. My meetings in Dallas took a little longer than I expected. And then it's raining. It's just a really dreary, not great road conditions. And so I didn't want to take any more time in Dallas sitting down and having like a sit down meal or a steak or anything. I just want to try to get to Austin before it gets dark, especially with the roads the way they are. So I have the next best thing though, Buc-ee's, which if you're not aware, Buc-ee's is basically a massive gas station and they have clothes and groceries and obviously like 100 gas pumps. And then they actually have a full meat counter and brisket counter. They have what they call their wall of jerky. So this huge wall of jerky, I didn't get any of that because honestly, I don't even know if they have any that don't have sugar or soy or like a bunch of other ingredients in it that I'm trying to avoid right now. But they do have in the cold section this pork, I think it's like pork tenderloin, which is literally just like smoked cooked pork. And the ingredients are fairly clean on that. So I got some cold pork and I'm gonna put some salt on it and have that, which is gonna be delicious. And then they also have tons of like barbecue meat sandwiches. You also can buy meat by the pound, but you can't buy like a small portion. So it says on there a minimum of 1 pound is what you're allowed to buy. I didn't want like multiple pounds of meat. And so I was like, hey, is there any way I can get a smaller portion of meat, but all of your sandwiches already have sauce on them, which is full of sugar, and they have bread, which I don't need. And they said, yeah, we can sell you just for the same price as the sandwich, but we could sell you a sandwich portion of meat separately and not put the bun and the sauce on it for you. So I got a turkey sandwich, just the turkey, and a brisket sandwich, just the brisket. So here is my portion of brisket and portion of smoked turkey. I am a sucker for a smoked turkey. I'm telling you, and that is really clean. And then the brisket has no sauce on it, and it's like gas station brisket, but I'm telling you, if you've been to Buc-ee's, you know. I also checked the ingredients, and they had some pork rinds. They have a lot of flavored versions which have, you know, MSG and other ingredients that I don't want. But they had the original that is just pork rinds and salt, and so that means there's like no other junky ingredients in it. And I'm gonna save these for in case I get hungry on the drive, or like feel like munching, or if I just need like a snack or some other food tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna stick with my brisket and my pork and my turkey.
My breakfast today is very random, but I could not do eggs from a hotel again. Yesterday when I was driving, I ended up eating the brisket and the turkey and then that whole bag of pork rinds, which was just kind of fun to munch as I was driving. So I saved this cold pork. I knew that would save in the hotel fridge for today. And then I also have a bag of Carnivore Snax. I always travel with just like at least one bag to have in case of emergencies or in situations like this where I just feel like I want something really clean. And this is their beef sliders, which basically are like ground beef that they turn into chips. And then some of the Carnivore Snax brands have like huge chunks of fat on them. These don't. And then the pork is really good, actually. It's just kind of lean. So I asked the hotel restaurant for some butter, and they gave me a few pats of butter. And I'm not normally a butter eater, I will say. However, a little bit of butter, piece of pork, crunchy little chip, like this is so good. I will say too, this pork tenderloin is something you could easily make and travel with. It would be fine at room temperature for like if you had a flight or something, and then it's really good cold. I'm not a big fan of some meats cold, but this one is really good. So this is something that I might do. I think this one is smoked, but you could do it in the oven also. And it's just a pork tenderloin. And then after it rests and it's cold, you can slice it and it's gonna hold up really well. And then we'll put a little butter on there. And it would travel. I'm gonna use this like next time I have a long flight or something. And especially if you don't want jerky or something tough, this is nice and tender. I am so close to being done for the week. I have one more meeting starting here in just a couple of minutes, and then we have our company Christmas party this evening. I finally got a steak today for lunch. I went to a place with some coworkers where you got to pick your own steak and they cut it for you. So I asked for a 16-ounce ribeye, and I asked the server, I was like, can you tell the person in the back I would love a big cap on it, which means the cap of the ribeye, which is that extra tender fatty part, and they delivered. It even had that like extra little circle eye on it. It was sizzling, butter on top. It did have onions underneath, which I did not know, but no big deal. I just pushed those off to the side, and I had a little onion flavor. Thankfully, I'm not super sensitive, so it was great. It was perfectly cooked, medium rare. I'm feeling very refreshed after a long week. There will be food or some type of hors d'oeuvres and drinks obviously tonight at the Christmas party, but I'm definitely gonna steer clear of all that. I've had 2 solid meals today. I don't need any more food, so I'm just gonna be there and mingle, and maybe I'll have like a sparkling water or something just to have a drink to hold, but I don't need anything else tonight. I am headed home from Austin, or trying to head home from Austin from this crazy work week. My flight is delayed a couple of hours already. The company Christmas party last night was a success. Everybody was just kind of mingling and eating and drinking, and nobody really noticed or cared that I wasn't eating or drinking. And so the last thing that I ate was that steak yesterday about noon, and it is noon today, so that's been 24 hours fasted. My plan was just to get home and have a steak, but with this delay, it may end up being like kind of late when I get home, so I might just take advantage and do like a 48-hour fast or do an extra fasting day. Old me just used to eat non-stop on travel days, but now I kind of like to take advantage and just use it as an additional easy way to fast. I am in the airport lounge today, and they actually have like a charcuterie platter set up, and they have this like beef barbacoa, which has some, I'm assuming, tomatoes and spices and other things in it. If I wasn't so worried about being extra clean right now, I might have had a little bit of meat and some deli meat and cheese and stuff, but right now I think like I just would rather give myself some extra fast, have extra electrolytes, and then just wait till I get home and can eat something cleaner. Overall, I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more videos like this or just more things that I eat at home or anything else in general, make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.